What's going on, apes? My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel. Now we gotta go over just a general update where we do currently sit with AMC stock and the overall short squeeze, because as you guys do know, hopefully you do know, by the end of this video you will know that the trade is very much on and alive, and right now I think is one of the best times to ever buy AMC stock, and that is exactly what I am doing. Now we are gonna go over, like I said, everything you guys need to know: the technical analysis, the Vortex data, the option chain, the potential for a push that I do see tomorrow. Keep in mind, Thursday and Friday tend to be red days, so this is a possibility. It may or may not happen. The data is most certainly on our side. We're also going to go over the Fintel data for the 13F filings that hedge funds and institutions are really starting to release, that does show an overall bullish sentiment with hedge funds and institutions behind AMC stock. So with that being said, guys, make sure to hit that like button if you like the video, and let's get into it. So first and foremost, we do know, as you guys already do know, this $40 level has been a major resistance point. We have touched this 4 times, almost 5 times. So this has confirmed that this $40 price is a major resistance level. We will go up over this about 50 cents. We'll come back down about $2 under this. This pattern has played out for about 7 days now, 7 trading days now, and it's nothing new. You guys already do know this, but what I want you guys to keep in mind is that the overall trend here is still bullish. We're still going up a little bit more. We're still getting over $40 a little bit more, and then we'll come down, like I said, about $2. But the main point here is once we do break out past $40, we're gonna have to break out past the 200-day moving average, which is something I call out in basically every video, just because we did get confirmation of this, that this will be another resistance level. Back here on July 21st, we did bounce right off of this when this was at about $46.46. Now this is currently sitting at $48.28. So once we break out past 40, 200-day moving average is the next level to be watching for, and then obviously the 50, 55, and then the $60 level. But I do think in the relatively near term future, we will get back up to those consolidation levels in between about $50 and $60, like we did see for a long period of time. This is only a matter of time, and if you guys are really apes and you are diamond handing your positions, you shouldn't be too concerned about how long this does take. If you are in this, you are in this. If you are out of this, if you are paper handy, if you are worried about this, then sell out. Do whatever you guys want to do. Nobody can tell you what to do. Now, on a technical basis, I think the only other thing that is important to be watching for, if you want some clarity in when the short squeeze will happen and when the short squeeze may possibly be starting, is the volume. And we have seen super low volume, but relative to the price action we are seeing, going up about 2 to 5% a day, going down about 2 to 5% a day. The fact that we have had the volume go down over 10-fold and we have not cratered in share price, I do think that shows the overall sentiment from the apes and even the hedge funds and institutions, like we'll talk about later in the video, are still bullish on the overall AMC short squeeze. We're just gonna have to see this volume come back into the stock, like we did see back here with this gamma squeeze, hitting a high for volume of 758 million for volume. Once that does happen, once we start to get a couple hundred million for volume, that'll give you a pretty telltale sign of when we should start to expect a short squeeze. But I think with this short squeeze around, we're gonna see billions and billions for volume. So that'll just give you guys an indicator. That is what I am watching for, to see the price action and the volume, if they are correlating or if they are diverging. But for the most part, they are pretty much correlating, but you have a slight divergence. You could see lower volume, but you can also see the share price going up at the same time, which is a great thing in the overall grand scope of things. Now let's get into the Vortex data, guys. Keep in mind, take this information with a grain of salt, but Vortex is indicating that the short interest percentage of free float is at 15.69%. That is up over 1% over the last 2 trading days. So definitely a great sign. The current estimated shares that are sold short of 80.24 million. Keep in mind, 2 days ago, this was at about 75 million shares. So nevertheless, a great thing to be seeing. And I do want to point out as well that right here, the return shares and the borrowed shares, keep in mind these are only borrowed shares and return shares. The free float on loan is at 19.10%. Like I said, the current short interest percentage of free float is at 15.69%. So what this is telling you is there is quite a bit more shares that are actually held in people's brokerage accounts that have not actually sold the stock short yet. Also, the Vortex data is only showing us an estimation of the shares that are sold short, but 80 million shares, if this data is correct, expect is still a very large amount and would be almost 2 days worth of volume of straight buys going into the stock. Nevertheless, the whole group of FOMO traders and day traders that are looking to invest in the company, as well as hedge funds and institutions, once the short squeeze actually does start. But at the same time as this data, like I said, is not reflecting the naked short positions, even the failure to delivers that are outstanding that have to be bought back on any given day, as well as synthetic short positions. So like I've said on this channel many times, I do think my estimated short interest is anywhere between 40 and 80% for AMC stock. So this trade has never been more on and alive in my opinion. But we're going to move on from the Vortex data, take a look at the stock go tracker data, because we do have about 22,000 contracts that are in the money, 224,000 that are out the money. Obviously, this is not going to cause a gamma squeeze by any means necessary, but this could cause a gamma push around the $40 strike. And considering we have had such a strong resistance at the $40 strike, once we do blow past that, we're likely to gap up from there. Like I pointed out in the last video, we have about 23,000 for open interest at the $40 strike. That controls 1.3 million shares. And if you are aligned with the same beliefs as me, that about 90% of this open interest is held by market makers. I shouldn't say that. The back end of these calls is held by market makers. So they have to literally buy the stock at $40 to sell it, or before $40 to sell it to you at $40 to oblige for all these contracts there on the back end of. So like I said, this controls 2.3 million shares, 90% of these shares held by market makers. That comes out to 2,070,000 shares that would potentially have to be bought at the $40 strike. Now it's really a toss up if we're gonna get that volume come in at about $40. I tend to like to think that is going to be the case, but like I said previously in the video, Thursdays and Fridays tend to be pretty red days. But if we do get that push above $40, you're looking at about 14,000 for open interest at the 41 and the $42 strike. Also at the $45 strike, you're looking at 12,175 for open interest. So I do think the data is on our side here. We could see a bit of a gamma push, but this is only a possibility, guys. Don't get that confused. I'm not saying this is going to happen or it's not going to happen. I am simply giving you guys the data, the factual information around this, so you guys can come to your own conclusions. If it happens, hey, it happens. If it doesn't, you're hopefully in this for the short squeeze anyway. So it doesn't really matter in the end. This is only the data that is being presented to you guys. So let's now move on to the Fintel data, and we are getting a lot of these F13 filings being reported, or 13F filings I should say, being reported for the last 2 trading days. And as you guys can see, an overwhelming majority of these filings are reflecting that positions are staying the same, which is the gray and the white lines, but you also see a lot more green, which is new positions in AMC. You're seeing a lot less red positions, whereas if you are holding your position in a stock or you are getting a new position, those are obviously bullish trades. That is showing you that they are bullish. If they weren't, they would sell the stock. So you're seeing about 3 sells right here for about 20 buys and holds. So I think the overall sentiment is very bullish when it does come down to hedge funds and institutions and what they think will happen with AMC stock. Ultimately, that makes me, or leads me to believe, I should say, that we are going to see this short squeeze and the institutions and hedge funds are gonna get behind the apes. Obviously, some are choosing to short the stock as well, but that is like what I called out in the one of the last videos, where you're gonna get this hedge fund versus hedge fund situation where some hedge funds are gonna go long, some are gonna go short, and that is overall great for the short squeeze, and that is what we'll have to see for a mother of all short squeezes. So that is gonna wrap up this video. That is everything you guys need to know where we do currently sit with the AMC short squeeze. On your way out, make sure to drop that like on the video. Also, let me know how many shares of AMC you own down below in the comment section, while at the same time consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of these videos. Also, if you guys are not signed up with Public, they do not use payment for order flow. Get up to $70 in your choice free stock in about 3 minutes time. It is literally free money. Check that out, link down below in the description. But I will see you guys in the next video.